Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin, and today I want to tell you about something that's going on that's really cool, and it is history in the making, and it's something that is also history repeating itself, and that is the wood paper money or script from uh, Tenino, Washington. And forgive me, all of you 5,000 residents of Tenino, if I mispronounce the name of your town. So what they're doing in Tenino is that they have a COVID aid relief package that the town put together that included printing wooden script, and they are actually using the same wooden presses that they used in the 1930s. The press, I think, is even from the 1890s, and it has a really cool picture of George Washington on it. It looks kind of old, and it says COVID relief, $25, and it actually has a bat on it, which I thought was very fascinating. Just a little bit of extra um, memorabilia, like something to remember you by. So anyway, this small town, like many small towns, is having a hard time getting the same type of funding from the federal grants and the local and state authorities who usually focus on the larger cities. So they put together this program, and it's basically it's like food stamps where people can apply for this and they can receive these, and then there's actually stores that have little signs out front that say wood paper money accepted here, and so people can go and spend the money at those places. They can use it to buy food and some personal care goods, things like toiletries. Marijuana is excluded, as is alcohol, which are both of course legal in Washington. uh, the note says on it in Latin, habemus autem sub potestate, which they roughly translate to "we've got this handled." I think "we've got this under control" was the translation that I found. But either way, it's really fascinating. Just a neat piece of modern history. Now the same town did the same thing in the 1930s, where they had a problem with a currency shortage during the Great Depression. Lots of smaller towns made their own currencies. Making your own currency is not uncommon. Uh, there was the 1830s hard times tokens that came out, where people manufactured their own, basically large cents to help with the local commerce. And of course, you also got into the Civil War. You had Civil War tokens, which were part propaganda and part transactional. Um, and then after that, after the Civil War, there was a species shortage, a shortage of metals and coinage, and that brought us fractional currency, which was first known as postal currency, because literally it was pictures of postage that was put onto a small piece of paper and circulated. So after that, you get into the Great Depression, where we saw lots of localized script, and you also saw things like good for tokens. Sometimes we call those saloon tokens. Those are the real popular ones. Those are the ones that they'd say good for, and then they'd say the name of the company, and it'd be for one drink or for 5 cents or 25 cents or something along those lines. This item actually is a lot more like a food stamp than anything else, because it is not really intended for daily commerce. It is actually being given to people who need it to pay for food and groceries, and the store ends up being able to redeem it with the city. But so that's a lot more like a food stamp program, which, by the way, I do know some people who collect things like old food stamp coupons. Of course, during World War II, there was also, of course, different types of rationing stamps that were used. So, different times in history, especially when you have different types of economic difficulty, has resulted in different types of emergency issues. And I will say that I find these notes really attractive. I couldn't find any on eBay when I looked. I did find an original Tenino issue from the 1930s, which was actually bid up over $100 at the time I was looking at it. So it's a pretty neat thing. If you haven't seen them, you should check them out. Just look online for the Tenino, Washington $25 COVID relief wooden currency, and you'll pop up some images. The images are really kind of cool because it looks like they were printed 100 years ago, even though they're dated 2020. So, anyways, leave your comments in the box below. Let me know if you've seen these or if you think they're most related to food stamps or maybe something else. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. Thanks for watching. You can subscribe by clicking on the button up in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.